Okay, I'm back. I'm back, and I had a couple of snacks. I'm gonna have dinner anyway very soon, so it should be fine. I'll be able to power through. We got Drew Bear back at it again, and I can see Drew Bear. We're getting very close to the last couple ones. At least, in each upcoming 100 SCPs before Series 4, I get to see you two more times. Last one from Drew Bear was 2627, which was the boardwalk by the beach. That's just like the one when you walk through it, it suddenly has this like a boardwalk labyrinth, and it's just like you'll never get to the beach. It's just boardwalk, nothing else. Have fun with that. But yeah, that was the last one we had with Drew Bear. So now we have human potential. That sounds beautiful. But let's see what it is about. Class Euclid, special containment procedures. The Dash-1 is kept in a standard humanoid cell equipped as a nursery. A team of pediatric physicians and nurses are to be kept available at all times for appropriate care needs. Dash-2 are kept in individual standard humanoid cells and allowed access to approved amenity. Jesus, that was weird. Amenities and luxuries as rewards for good behavior. Instances of Dash-2 are allowed direct contact with one another outside of testing scenarios. Instances of Dash-2 are not allowed within 100 meters of Dash-1 under any circumstances. Non-violent anti-personnel techniques are sufficient to subdue Dash-2 in the event of a breach. Dash-1 is a white male infant with a birth named Jameson Adrian McDougall. Dash-1 has the same nutritive and healthcare needs as a non-anomalous infant and displays no abnormal properties, with the exception that it does not physically age or develop. Forever an infant. For endless potential for always, but we'll never get there because it never grows up. Each instance is genetically identical to Dash-1 and shares its unaging property. All instances identify themselves with a variation of or nickname related to the name Jameson. Wait, sorry, I skipped that. I skipped it. With the exception that it does not physically. Despite being a Foundation custody for 17 years, Dash-1 maintains the physical form of a newborn infant. Now, Dash-2 is a collection of 37 white adult humanoids currently... I don't know why my fight or flight just suddenly kicked in. White adult humanoids currently consisting of 35 males and 2 transgender females, with apparent ages ranging from late adolescence to elderly. Each instance is genetically identical to Dash-1 and shares its unaging property. All instances identify themselves with a variation of or nickname related to Jameson's Adrian McDougall. This is like every it's like a different age version of them, of the same character maybe. Instances of Dash-2 are genetically hostile towards each other and, if given the opportunity, will attack each other with homicidal intent. Instances of Dash-2 do not display any abnormal or heightened physical attributes or capabilities. Should one instance succeed in killing one another, the deceased instance will vanish within 30 seconds. 24 hours following the death, a new instance of Dash-2 will manifest between 15 and 100 meters of Dash-1. With a personality and set of physical attributes that are hybrids or mixtures of those of the deceased and surviving instances. I do think it must be like some sort of almost like butterfly, human potential, Because as a baby, when you look at your baby, you never know what kind of child, what kind of teenager, what kind of adult, what kind of middle-aged person, what kind of elderly man they will become. Elderly person they will become. Pardon me. I was thinking of myself. So, this is basically just it's kind of like the SCP where future versions of somebody showed up and was like, if you do this, you become like that, all the different versions try to berate her, berate and guide her how to do things so that she becomes like them. So this is kind of like that, but instead of the future versions coming from being there and be like, oh, you should do it like this. It's just different versions of them in millions of different potential time spawning into existence and then fighting each other. If an instance of -2 dies for any reason other than being killed by another instance, it will reappear between 15 and 100 meters of -1 24 hours later, unharmed and retaining all its pre-death memories. Okay, another -2 has to kill them to make them different. Instances of -2 manifest in clothing appropriate to the current fashion of the United Kingdom. They additionally manifest carrying an individually specific handheld object which appears thematically linked to the personality and mindset of that instance. They have varying degrees of emotional attachments to their associated objects and will frequently request them or similar objects. Examples are listed below. Instance SCP 2768-2D. Prayer book. Religion varies for prayer manifestation and request. Significantly, so here's the object that they have in significant personality traits now. Highly devout, paranoid, suffering from religious themed delusions. 2F. Hunting rifle loaded with 1 round, make and model vary. Suspicious and or perceived authority figures. Vocal about threat of predatory animals. Prone to anger control problems. 2M, horse bridle. Hardy, extremely enthusiastic about equestrian events, compulsively discusses personal achievements. 2Z, transgender female, medication bottle. Contents vary but include narcotics, anxiolytics, and antipsychotics. Clinically depressed, fearful and suffering from paranoid delusions, conflict avoidant. 2 Beta, touchscreen and smartphone, make and model vary. It makes sense that they go in the beta because we only have 24 letters in the alphabet and there's 37 of them. Touchscreen smartphone, make and model vary, passive, easily distractible, overly focused on technological minutiae. And then -2, I'm not sure which that one is again. Carved wooden cane, wood and patterns vary. Forgetful, significant, simpler, cognition in other instances, irritable. An old man. Aside from seeking to kill one another, all instances of -2 exhibit strong, non-violent desires to make physical contact with -1. Same purpose for this desire are generally highly possessive and protective, with reports that -1 belongs to that specific instance and that all others should be kept away or killed before they steal it. All instances of -2 are able to identify the exact location and physical status of -1 at all times and become distressed or agitated when they believe its care is inadequate. SCP 2768 was discovered when, upon the birth of -1, the original 37 instances of -2 simultaneously appeared in varying locations within or near the hospital in which the birth occurred. So it almost sounds like there are different parental figures of them, but that's definitely not the case. I think it's definitely different versions of him, of the little guy. Witness reports and surveillance video note that all instances manifested abruptly and immediately proceeded towards -1. Instances engaged in hostilities with each other on site, although several instances, notably 2F, 2L, and 2Q, briefly cooperated to kill other instances before resuming hostilities against each other. In total, 12 instances were killed before hospital security personnel were able to apprehend them and deliver them to the custody of local authorities. Foundation personnel were dispatched to the scene within 24 hours and acquired all instances of -2, including newly replaced ones with minimal disturbance. At this point, the connection to -1 was discovered and was also recovered without incident. The parents were informed that -1 had died of a congenital heart disease and were provided a cadaver resembling -1. That's God damn it! Not another child being dead. Well, in this case, the child is not dead, but the parents think that the child is dead, which is just as bad, God, why? Yeah. But I still somehow, if I was a parent, I would be so confused. Like, who is this person? Why are you guys? Why are you berating how we're taking care of our child? Like, who are you? Like, how do they? For example, now that we know that the parents are in the picture, how would they have explained themselves to the parents? Like, who are you? Why are you here? It's like, oh, Like, how would I would have actually liked to see how Dash 2 and the parents would have interacted, because just to see like what the Dash 2 would have said to the parents. Because there's no way they would have said anything that would have like worked. Oh, this is interesting. That would have made the parents go, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Understandable. Come right in. Step right in. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I think it would have been an interesting part of the story.